Hello everyone, good morning or good afternoon depending upon what time zone you're in or when you're going to view this live. I want to welcome you to my shop. This is Cat's Creations. We're currently still renovating and getting a lot of stuff done for this year for 2023. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a pancake style wreath. And why would you need to know that? Well, a pancake style wreath gives you the right dimensions and the right thickness for designing a wreath that is made primarily for people who need a little bit thinner on their wreath width or their wreath depth. So it's perfect for storm doors. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to put that together. And what you'll see is that we're not sacrificing quality at all by putting this together and making it a little bit different. But it's so easy for people to get confused and think that when I teach the ruffle method that it looks very similar to a pancake style wreath, and this is just one version. So I'm going to walk you through the method, teach you how to make it, and then we're going to design this around an Easter design. So before we get started, if you haven't already liked or followed my page, I would really appreciate it if you did so. It really helps in supporting small business, even if you don't purchase anything from me. Just that alone is huge for a small business. And then second, if you like this design and want to have this as a video that you can refer back to, clicking the share button below will share this to your page. Now, I'm not wearing my usual apron. It is 24 degrees outside. I've been trying to get my shop heated enough in the last 2 hours and we're barely at 45 degrees. So it's a little chilly in here. So I'm going to stay warm today and go ahead and continue with our live. So let me pan the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. So I think that pretty much gives you guys a bird's eye view. It would be just as if you're standing directly opposite of me. And let me make sure I get our page pulled up so I can see all of your comments and can respond to those for you. And here we go. All right. Good morning, Lynn. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Jean from Ohio. Hopefully you're not with any of the crazy stuff that's going on in Ohio. If you are, I pray that that will be rectified hopefully soon. So the first thing you're going to notice is we're going to do the 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, and I'm going to show you how we're going to wire this. So I have picked purple, orange, and green for my color palette. Just doing this design. We're going to go a little brighter with Easter. So the first thing we're going to do is on the in the middle section. So it's going to kind of look like we're wiring this for a regular design. Is we're going to take one pipe cleaner in each of the sections divided by a weld. We're going to wire together rings 1 and 2, which are the two innermost rings. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. And then we're going to do that in every single one, just on the inside for now. So there's number 2. And you don't have to overly twist it, but you do want to make sure that it's on there nice and snug. Here's number 3. We're going to go back to our purple. And there's that one. We're doing green. And then our orange. So that gives us 6 on what I would call the interior, or the 6 inside rings. Now we're going to move to the outside. So on a normal wreath base, you see me add 2 to the outside. This time we're only going to add 1. So I'm going to take and we're going to go crisscross over the outside 2, just like this, on the welds. So every section where it's welded, we're going to take and put in 1 pipe cleaner. So we're going to follow this all the way around, alternating my colors, just because it looks pretty. There is no other reason, just that it looks pretty. So crisscross. Okay, just like that. Let me zoom in for you guys. I'm hoping that'll work. Crisscross. Just like that. On the outside too. We're back to our purple. up and then over. And got our orange. Crisscross right over the weld. The reason why we wire together the two outside is that just gives it stability so that it does not move. Should not move when we go to add our Deco Mesh. So there we go. 6 on the inside, 6 on the outside. And that makes it a little bit different than the regular, because the regular we do 6 on the inside and 12 to the outside. So you can kind of see where people kind of get a little bit of an idea of thinking that it's the same design when it's not. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to work the outside first. Normally you guys see me take the very next pipe cleaner. So what I'm going to do to make sure that the inside pipe cleaners don't get in the way of my outside is I'm going to fold those down. So we're just focusing on the outside. And I'm taking this green and cream jute mesh because I love the color of this. It reminds me of Easter grass. And we are ruffling. So these are cut to 20-inch pieces. Hi, good morning, Audrey. You're going to pretend that there's an invisible line going right up the center. You're going to pull those towards you. Just like so. And then normally you see me put it finished edges to the inside. This time we're doing a little bit different. We're going to put the cut edges to the inside and outside. And we're going to give it one good nice twist. Just like so. Now with this, we need to remedy this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it look like little round doilies. So you're going to take the outside edge here, and you're going to overlap the two. We need them small enough. And then we want to fold them under. Just like these. Everything under. Nice and perfect. And then we're going to go to the next one. These are 20-inch pieces of 10-inch Deco Mesh. So they're cut to 20 inches, 10 inches the roll, and you will use about 2/3 of a roll. So you'll have about 1/3 left. So this one will have leftovers. Could you make it a little thicker? You could, you know, but there's no point. Oops, see, I'm going back to default method. So side to side. And then we go up and over, focusing on the outside only. 2 twists. Move our pipe cleaner. We're going to fold the overlap. Okay. Fold this one. It doesn't matter if you put them both on the top or one on top, one on the bottom. It doesn't matter. We just want them to stay in nice little circles. Okay. There's the difference. And then I'm going to do the same thing here so that I hopefully don't do that laying them the wrong way. So these go side to side. Hi, Anna. 72 degrees in Pennsylvania. Your daffodils are blooming. That is wonderful. I was out this morning with a hammer breaking up the ice in my poor chicken's water because we don't have electrical out there. So I needed to make sure they had accessible water supply. And there was no way in heck those chickens were coming out to greet me like they normally do. They were like, nope, way too cold. So again, making little round doilies. So if you can just remember that, and then to always fold them under. This way it'll kind of keep them confined into their space so that they don't tread on the inside ones we'll need later. Anna said, did you get a lot of snow? About 2.5 inches, but because the temperatures have stayed cold, like our temperature today is only supposed to be 33 as our high, it's kept the snow on the ground. And it's kind of turned the top layer to ice. So it sounded all nice and crunchy when I went outside. doilies, folding underneath. And sometimes when they kind of want to bubble up, it's because half of it is still not folded over or folded under, just like that. Let me grab one of these smaller, closer to the inside, I should say. Okay. Do the same thing. So I'm always pulling the mesh towards me, and I'm holding it with my thumbs and my index finger, and all I'm doing is stacking it. So they're in nice little pleats. And I'm twisting that in there fairly tight because I don't want it to come undone. One over the other. Hold down. I had promised you guys a pancake style wreath, so I was like, let's do that. We can do one for Easter. Last one for the bottom row. Remember, we're just focusing on the outside row. Oops. Make sure you're... Betty says it's 88 in Florida. Wow. I guess that, would that be like an average day for you, Betty, for this time of the year? Or is that just a little on the warm side? And it's normal for this time of year. When I talked to a friend who lived out here, she said that this has been an unusually warm weather for Washington. So normally January and February, normally we're supposed to get a lot more snow, definitely a lot more rain than what we have. So this is a little on the different side. So we're going to stay focused on here, and we're going to move to adding some ribbon. Arvina said, I made a pancake wreath using Hobby Lobby mesh. It's very thin. I can see the frame. What can I do? So, you know how this only requires 2/3 of a roll, Arvina? I would suggest just making your pieces, instead of 20-inch, maybe go 25 inches and see if that would be enough for you. I wouldn't so much focus on, you'll see, like, once we put the ribbon on, even though you can kind of just barely see the frame through here, once I go ahead and add the ribbons, it should rectify that situation and kind of thicken it up. So that's kind of why I don't like the Hobby Lobby mesh. So both of these ribbons are available from Craft Outlet. Vivian, you said morning from Washington. Where are you at in Washington? So am I. We have 2.5 inch, which is rabbits and carrots on yellow. And then we have this purple and white diagonal plaid. They're both cut to 14-inch pieces. And we want to layer them one on top of the other. And we're going to fold those over just so we find a halfway point. And we're going to take and lay these right inside our little doilies. And give them a couple twists. Go ahead and cut that excess off. You're going to take that little nib piece, whatever's left, and you're going to tuck it around and under one side of your ribbon. And then you're going to pull your ribbon out, just like so, and you're going to lift and pull that. So the ribbons are, again, are kind of flipping to the outside, just like that. And this is what we're going to do all the way around. Char says, we had an ice storm yesterday, no power today. She's at her daughter's house who has power. Yeah, we've been preparing for outages just because we've had the snow. The temperatures are cold. A lot of our power lines are street level, so, and there's tons of trees. So we're waiting for a tree to come down and knock the power out. So we're preparing, you know, bathtub is full so that, you know, you have water to flush, because we're all on electric here, on a septic, And so we want to make sure we're well prepared, even though we have our generator. Cut that off. Tuck that little piece back down and around, because nobody wants to see that pipe cleaner, even though you're not going to be able to really see it anyway. Okay, but we do want to see all 4 ribbon. Lynn says, slid on ice in Oregon, minimal damage and safe. Praise God. Ugh. I feel for you, Lynn. The ice is the worst. So, again, we're rolling up. Couple twists. We'll go ahead and snip that off. Take and tuck this to the outside, and then what I'm doing is I'm bumping these up and I'm pulling them so they're up and out. We're giving them some life. We don't want them to just lay there like they're waiting for the cold to go away. But we want to see all of them. I'm sure it was scary, Lynn. Ugh, I would not. That's why I sent Steve today to the post office. He is home today because their company's internet is out worldwide or nationwide. So he is working from home today with what he can do. So he's like, I'll just go to the post office for you. So I feel safer having him go. Up and over. Again, get underneath where you're putting those ties in and really lift them. Because they want to bubble. They want to like divot downwards. So just make sure you're pulling them all out. Such a nice festive spring. Betty says, how did you decide to move to Washington? Super simple. We came here. I've always known that I wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest. That's just been, I feel like it's been a calling on my soul. And so we came up here toward the end of May in 2022. And I totally fell in love with this particular area we're at, which is on the west side of Mount Rainier. Not too far up towards the cities, just kind of staying more rural. And we kind of felt like God just opened up this opportunity because we were looking at a lot of different properties and it just, none of them hit what we were looking for until we got to this point. And technically I moved for the weather, if you can believe that. I wanted rain. The perpetual summers, what I call it. I was ready for a change. I had been missing the rain and the colder temperatures, and I'm not a warm person. I don't like warm climates. I like it when it's cold. I like it when I can wear sweatshirts and long sleeves and sweaters and hoodies and just be outside. And where we were living in California in the desert, we would hibernate every summer. It was simply too hot to be outside. So we were never outside. We can never use and enjoy our outdoor space. And then when we moved up here in September, we came right at the end of their summer. It was an unusually hot spell. That's when they had all the fires. And we were outside every day. Huge amounts of outside time. Okay, so there is the first layer of our pancake wreath built. So this probably averages about 1.5 inches right now. It just depends on the height of the ribbon. Again, you could push those down to compress them if you needed to. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my inside pipe cleaners and I'm going to pull them forward so that I can find them, so that we can take the next layer, which is going to be exactly like what we just did here. And we're going to build the second layer on top of the first. So I'm just opening those up, positioning my pipe cleaners in, pulling them straight up, making sure everything's, you know, pushed back down. All your little doilies should be down. And then I'm going to open these up so it's easier for me to lay my mesh inside. And then we're ready for layer number 2. Same thing, exactly what we did on layer number 1. Now we're doing the inside 6. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Ruffle method, turn sideways, drop that down right over the top of what you just did. Don't want to twist too many times. Kind of forgot I was going to put my ribbon in there. Same thing, make your little circle doily things. Make sure those are all pushed down. Get up under them and get them to lay. Because right now they're up. We want to flip those to where they're down. Okay, that one's all set. So what size did I cut the mesh and the ribbon? Donna asked. Deco Mesh is cut to 20-inch pieces. You'll need 12 of them. And the ribbon, both the 2.5 and the 1.5 are both cut to 14-inch pieces. Now this jute mesh cannot be cut with the wood burning tool. So you're going to have to use a rotary cutter on it. So I'm always making sure I'm doing my little crisscross. Flip that under. Fold everything up and over. Because we want to see the same little circle print. Do the first ruffle from there. I think you're going to watch the replay. Yeah, it might be the wind. The wind is probably interfering with things. We moved to Washington, also 2022. Oh, sorry, Vivian. She said her husband passed away. So that's why they came up here. She does not like the snow. So I'm hoping that you move to a place where you don't get snow. I know the east side of Mount Rainier is a little bit more high desert-ish. They get warmer temperatures, but they also get a lot more snow. So we kind of stayed away from that. We just literally came from that. We did not want to go back to that kind of environment. Did Vivian say where in Washington? Vivian, where are you at in Washington? What city? Linda says, can you cut fabric mesh with the wood burning tool? No, because it usually contains the cotton fibers. So rotary cutter with that, and then come back in if you're really concerned with the phrase. And E6000, just spray the whole wreath with E6000 spray, let it dry, or if you're impatient, you can hit it with a blow dryer and dry it quicker. Okay, want to make sure we leave these back open for our ribbon pieces. Again, I'm pulling my ribbons around so that they're all visible. And then 2 more pieces, and we should be good to go. Laying that right on top. Trying to hold that in place. 2 twists. Make your little circle doilies. That's the only way I can think of, like, what do they look like? They remind me of the doilies my grandmother had. There we go. And then we'll make sure we're ready for ribbon. Last piece of mesh. We are going to add a bow to this. Hi, Linda. She said, like, coming in, how long did you cut the mesh? 12 pieces of 20-inch. They're cut to 20-inch pieces, and it's just 10-inch Deco Mesh that I'm using. Trying to grab those. Really compress that down. And as you can see, it's really filling this wreath. Okay. Want to make sure all of our pipe cleaners are out so they're ready for ribbon. Okay, so we have our 6 doilies to the outside. We'll probably be fluffing this ribbon throughout. Just because every time we touch it, it moves. So now we're going to go ahead and put in another layer of ribbon. It's a 2.5 inch and 1.5 inches, both from Craft Outlet, cut to 14-inch pieces. And we're just laying these right on the top, giving it a couple twists. Snip off your excess. Take that little leftover piece, tuck it down and behind one of your ribbons, and then go ahead and fluff your ribbon tails out. So now you can understand why it's called a pancake wreath. It's like a short stack. It has 2 layers. Do the same thing on both layers, and you start with the lower level because obviously it'd be real challenging to get to that lower level now. There's the end. Take the leftover and tuck that behind. There we go. Make sure we elevate those ribbons. You just don't want them laying flat and lifeless. So you will need a grand total of 12 pieces of Deco Mesh cut to 20-inch pieces, 12 pieces of 2.5 inch ribbon cut to 14 inches, and then 12 pieces of 1.5 inch ribbon cut to 14 inches. And you don't have, I mean, if you want them cut shorter, cut them shorter. If you want to use 2.5 inches, by all means, you can definitely do that. This is just what I'm doing for this design. So again, we want to see all those colors. Right, Cheryl? She says they do look like the doilies my Nana used to make. Absolutely. I still like to see those. The doilies. I don't think Steve would like them in our house. It kind of just doesn't go with the decor, but I would love to put them in my office, on my desk. Just nice little... I appreciate now that I'm older, the things that, you know, our parents and grandparents used to make. You know, because they came from a different time. So, odds are they did what we did. They weren't wreath makers, they were doily makers. Okay, 2 more pieces. And then we'll add our sign and make a super cute bow. This will be a new bow design for you. And you can incorporate that on any wreath design you have if you need something a little smaller. There's that. I'm gonna pop that one up. See how they all, like, when we put them in, they all want to go like concave. They want to go down. So we're pulling those all the way out. Doesn't this look like a nice festive spring wreath? And I finally got my heater up to 50. Woo! Which is a good thing. Snip our excess off. Tuck that little tail down. I'm just taking my fingers and pushing them up under the ribbon so that they pop out. Just like so. Okay, now I can take my jacket off because it's getting a little too warm. But I think more than that is, it feels like I need to break free. Okay, so we are going to add this adorable sign to our wreath. This is from Jane's Front Door Decor, which is home is where the carrots are. So it's a nice Easter / spring wreath. It's not referencing Easter in any way. It's just kind of like a bunny with his carrots, which is why we chose the bunnies and the carrot ribbon. So this is going to sit right here, and we're going to make an adorable bow for the bottom. Okay, so let's start our bow first, which we're going to use 3 different color ribbons. So we're not using the bunny carrot. We are using the purple and white with the dotted lines, I guess is how you call it. This was from Personally Yours, but I believe you can also get it on Craft Outlet. An orange with white polka dots was from Craft Outlet. And then this crazy print, which is lines and polka dots on green. So you have purple, yellow, and pink on a green. So I think those kind of tie all of those gorgeous spring colors in perfectly. And I think I want to do the pink on top, or the purple on top. So we're going to do them this way. And we're going to start, first of all, and they're all 1.5 inches. We're going to dovetail the ends, which is wired edges together. You're going to cut from the folded side right down to that wired point. Okay, let's bring this in a little bit closer. I'm going to try to stay right here in the center. So I'm going to just use my Bodara strictly for holding what we do. So we're going to measure out 8 inches for the first one. So here's 8 inches. You're going to gather. You're going to twist. We're going to place it inside our Bodara. Then we're going to flip it up and around. And we are doing 5 inches. So 5 inches is the loop length. So up and around, bring it back to the 10, stretch your loop out, make sure that lines up on your 5 mark. We're going to do one more loop. So this is going to be a 3 loop, 2 tail. So remember, we've already measured the bottom, so I'm just going to put both my fingers inside the loops and pull. And then we're going to take this out. Oops, I need to get it back over here. Cut this right at 8 inches. Okay. There's that one. So the reason why we're changing up the bows on this is because, again, it's storm door wreath. So it's a thinner wreath. We don't want to go crazy with all of our ribbons. And now we'll add our orange because that's like the perfect carrot color. We're going to dovetail our ends. Right 2. And this time we're going to go 7.5 inches. We're going to twist. And because our tails are both on this side, we're doing tails on the opposite side. Same thing, we're going to do 3 loops, 2 tails. And the loops at this stage are going to be 4.5 inches. So we want to make sure that our measurements are good all the way around. And you're welcome to do your loops at any length that is good for you. And one more. You know, you might want more loops, you might want more ribbons, and that is totally and completely up to you. So I've got both of those right at, and now we need 7.5 inches right here. Take our dovetail, and we're good on the orange. Linda says, I still crochet doilies. They don't sell too well at craft shows, but someone will buy a bunch of them. Oh, heck yeah. I remember people love them for wedding decor, you know, especially if they're going old vintage. That would definitely make someone's day for that. I'll go ahead and remove this because it has the adhesive on the end. I want to make sure. Yep, look, there's a splice right in the middle. So that's why it was done. It's a good job on the splicing, but I don't like to use them. I was like, why was there tape? It's because they taped that so it could still be wound. So this one is going to be 7 inches for our tail length. Again, our tails go this way, so the next ones are going to go opposite. And we did 4 inches. These ones are going to be 3.5, a little bit smaller. So you can see that they should be slightly coming down a little bit each time. And bring that in. One more. Pull that down, and then we need to cut our tail out to 7 inches. And you could do this a ton of different ways. Your bow, it's entirely up to you. See, and I will keep that ribbon even though there's, you know, it's spliced, because if I was doing an angel tree topper, it's just enough ribbon for me to incorporate into angel tree toppers. So up and over. Yeah, let's get a pin on this. There we go. I was gonna throw that roll of ribbon in the trash instead of in my box. So there we go. Nice and pretty, nice and cute. Let's get lavender colored ribbon, pipe cleaner. So we're going to pick up the whole thing. It's a very small bow. Just 3 ribbon layers. And so we're going to hold the bottom and just twist our fabric, and we're going to fluff on the actual wreath. So we're not fluffing on the fluff board. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our sign, and we're going to put our holes in it. So I'm going to use my Beadsmith metal hole punch pliers to just punch a hole on either side, like so. And these, like I said, you can get these on Amazon, or you can go to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, probably Walmart. You want to go into the jewelry section, and you want something no bigger than 1.5 millimeters. So, and they were originally used for punching holes in metal for earrings, pendants, jewelry. So I'm using 22 gauge floral wire for my sign. You could use the adhesive squares, but you always run the risk that those will come off. So when you can, find alternatives that are more permanent. So we're going to take and just build this right over our hole. Just like this. And I twist it about 5 times. It gives it about 1/4 inch, so it lays more flat. It's not out to the side where it becomes like a spinner. And by using the 22 gauge floral wire, it should go through the layers of that jute mesh pretty easy. I say should. It doesn't always work out that way. Okay, we are ready to lay this in. Okay, so we're going to take this, pull this back, and we're going to position our sign so that it covers 1, 2, 3 of our ribbon ends, just like so, just like that. So we just have the 3 at the bottom exposed. I'm going to go ahead and feed this down through the bottom. I want to make sure it's going where I want it to go. It went through, but is a little too close for what I want. Oh, that would be the reason why there's a pipe cleaner there. There we go. So I don't want it to come up too shy. There we go. And making sure I've got 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom, which simply means bringing my pipe, my floral wire, so that it's crisscrossed over a wire. We'll pull this back down and make sure that it's nice and snug right over that ribbon bundle. And we'll do the same, opposite side. And we might need to move this back a bit because I'm looking, this one comes way over. It never fails the day that I like twist it. I need that over just a touch. Okay, there's one. Got a curly Q stuck. I'm going to go up and over that loop bundle. There's that one. Okay. Now it'll sit over there. I wanted them both to be somewhat equal. I want it to not default. So I'm trying to pull my, there it goes. I had to find the right wire to pull on so we could get the right tension. Just like so. And then this one goes up and over our little bow bundle as well. Gotta make sure our sign's on straight. There's one. And make it bent, the wire bent. And of course, then the first one goes through. There we go. Let's get them snug And then we can reposition everything where it needs to go, just like so. So see how we've covered up the top 3 right at the corners. So those are nice and pretty. And so now we're going to add our bow. So I've got to find our frame. Just, we went a little high with everything. So here's the deal with the pipe cleaners. It's just working them through the layers. I was like, what color am I using? I was like looking at orange, and I'm like, don't want it to go too orange. So we're going to go ahead and position that right there. Give it a couple twists, just in case we need to move it. Okay. And we're going to fluff from the bottom. So we have 2 here. We have one of our tails. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with the orange. We're going to pull those down. We can flip one of our tails up. And then we'll do the same here. There's that. And we can position that around. Again, to put the curl back in your ribbon, run it through your fingers, lift and pull. I'm going to pull this one around so we have a little bit of the green over here. And I'm going to trim this tail down because I feel like it's just a tad too long for where I want it to wind up. Like it right there. Let's flip that up and see if we can get it. A little bit of movement right there. Look how cute that is. There we go. Look how gorgeous that is. It's such a fun, whimsical design. And then I'm going to just take a couple, I'm trying to think of what color. I have a lime green. Let's look. Let's see. Do we want to add, like we can add some of those. We can add lime green. We can add, I don't want the purple. Here's orange. Ooh, that might look super cute if we just pair that with orange all the way around. And those 2 little spots that remain open. What do you guys think? And then we can put one in the center. I'm trying to find them. Right there. And then we have a trio. It's so cute. Or we can forego the what should I call it? Forego that and go pastel. And we can do pastel. What do you guys think? Which color? Do you think we should go pastel? Or do you think we should go orange? What do you guys think? And you can even, if you wanted to, you could kind of come up on the top and create those. So there's that pastel green. And then here would be our orange. As soon as I find them. That one.
Orange.
Huh? Orange? Yeah, I feel like the orange is just like, hey, you should like pick me. I like the orange too. So we're going to go ahead and add that orange really quick. These are all from Hobby Lobby. I collect them throughout the seasons. So super simple. We're just going to take our hot glue. We're just going to add those right in place. I usually, if I'm putting them along the edge of the sign, sometimes I will take the edge of my ball and just kind of put a little groove in it. So it'll kind of stay where I want them to stay. Just like that.
Lens of the orange kind of ties it all together.
It does.
Hi, everyone.
Because we went with, you know, carrot theme in our ribbon. We did, I had some carrot ribbon, but it just was like wrong color palette for this wreath. So there that is. You guys ready to see it on the front door or on the door? Go ahead and take that off. I'm going to go ahead and pan you up. Hello world. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take our design. We're going to place it on the door. Oop, and one of my little, this is the last one I just added. There we go. So here's a great thing about black doors. Black doors will show you the things that you miss, like glue threads or any miscellaneous things that you need to be drawn to your attention. Like phrase. Mostly it's the glue threads that I see that I might miss, like right here. But black doors also show you everything, which gives you an opportunity to just kind of fine tune your design before it goes out. So we want to make sure that all of our ribbon tails are all represented. So just make sure we've got everything all fanned out. Like so. What do you guys think? Super simple for Pancake Wreath, right? Super, super easy to do. There's a lot of people who just prefer to do pancake wreaths because they're super easy, and there's not anybody who can't use them. I'm just making sure we fan out our ribbon a little bit more. And just like, there we go. Okay. What questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? I think that's straight. Looks straight from here. Any questions? Lynn says, love it. Diane says, so pretty. Cheryl's gorgeous. So, yes, these are super simple to make. And now you understand the difference between a pancake wreath, which we want more flat and so that we can build on top of it. Whereas a ruffle wreath offers the same thing, but it's going to add a little bit more volume. It's going to add a little bit more through everything than this one does. Okay, everyone. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you guys next week. So have an amazing weekend, everyone. Bye for now.